Yes, so this has been signed into law. If you're asking if it passed the House, if it passed the Senate, if it's on the president's desk, that's done, been gone. Okay, it's signed, effective. Welcome to the new world we live in. And I want to be very clear here because I definitely made a video off the cusp. There was some room for insinuation to happen, and I want to address that as clear as day here. And it is the VA's, it's the Veteran Benefits Improvement Act or improvement of something like that. I'm sure
That's it.
Jason is the policy guru if you
Not true.
know of the two. He always says no, but he is, I promise. And in it, there's a few things. So what I'm going to focus on is it allows the VA secretary the discretion, the power to look at the public-facing DBQs and say, no, we don't want veterans to have that. We don't want veterans to have that. We don't want veterans to have that. Also, we're only going to accept those DBQs that he deems important, and we'll get to what important means. Completed by VHA providers, which is my number one issue, and C&P examiners. Right? That's the issue. Now, real quick, I'm going to turn it over to you. I just want to address this because it's a lot of comments that I had on my video. I assume it's the same on your video as well. No, all public-facing DBQs are not going away. Just straight up, no. As of right now, at least, I took screenshots of which ones are available right now, just in case for the future, okay? And I've saved them on my phone. It allows a VA secretary to remove some of them. It might be all of them. That would be ridiculous. Okay. That won't happen. But it could be a few of them. So no, public DBQs, all of them aren't going away. Yes, if you're using AME, if you're using whoever, they still have access to public-facing DBQs. That's fine. In fact, if they don't have access, TBI is a great one. TBI, before this bill was passed, so years prior, TBI is in-house only. And so AME, Dr. Sharma, whatever psychologist, neurologist you're using, none of them have access to this TBI thing. So what they do is they include that in their opinion. And the way they structure it is as if it's looking like a DBQ. So there are workarounds on the opinion side of the house. And so is it the end of the world? No, but I definitely am not happy about this. Okay, Jason, take it.
I agree. So let's talk about this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, the VA removed all of the DBQs that were public facing. They all just disappeared. There was an uproar within the veteran service officer realm, the associations, National Association, all the veteran service organizations, all were up in arms, and they were down and gone off the website for probably, I don't know, it seems like about 3 months or so. It might have been more. And then the VA posted them back up. Now, they did not post up all of the DBQs, which is what you're referencing now, like, for example, TBI. So there's some DBQs that do not exist still in a public-facing fashion. The idea here, and just for clarification for folks that might be new to this world, DBQ is disability questionnaire. Okay, DBQs are really utilized when you're putting together your medical evidence, and in a public-facing manner, the idea is, let's make this easier for the VA. Instead of them having to sift through all of my medical records and try to figure out where I fall on the rating schedule, let's put it all in a clear and concise fashion that outlines my symptoms and severity and all of that stuff. So that way the VA rater can read through that, compare and contrast to the rating schedule, and go, oh, you should be rated 30% for this condition, or whatever it is, right? So DBQs can be helpful. Now, the Veterans Benefits Improvement Act of 2024, like you said, Clay, it does allow for the removal again. Now, this is actually, I don't know if before in 2020, the VA had this authority or not. Maybe they just decided to do it, but then there was some sort of weird whatever, and there was a loophole, and then they had to put them back up. And now this is the quote unquote fix to rip them all down again, right? Don't know. So, but what it does say, and I'm just going to read this little four-line paragraph here. The bill, which is the Veterans Benefits Improvement Act, the bill updates procedures related to the publishing, so posting on the internet, of VA disability questionnaire forms. Specifically, the VA does not have to publish certain forms if it determines the form could not reasonably be completed to a clinically acceptable standard by someone who is not an employee or contractor of the VA. The way that's written, Clay, makes me think of, for anybody that's ever been in this situation, hey, Clay, I want to hire you, but I got to put this out to the public. So I'm going to write this job announcement and what I'm looking for that really meets exactly what you want, what I need from you. Only you are going to understand what I need. That way, you meet all the criteria. You're going to be able to answer all the questions because I know your background. You're good at XYZ. You can underwater basket weave and you can scuba. Perfect. So I'm going to put all that in this. So that way, it's just an easy thing. So in other words, Congress had a conversation, and this is my tinfoil hat. Congress,
Welcome.
or whoever, right? Yeah, thank you. I had a conversation with the VA, and the VA says, hey, look, this is really what I need to do. Okay, cool. Well, then what we're going to say here is that if you determine the form could not reasonably be completed by to a clinically acceptable standard by someone who is not a VA employee and not a contractor, C&P examiner is what they're really saying. Well, who's that leave? And by the way, Clay, who is allowed to fill out and sign DBQs? Doctors. So why would this even be a thing? It wouldn't be a thing, right? Because if doctors are the only ones who can sign it and put their medical license number, and they're the only ones that it says it on the form that it should be completed by your doctor, blah, blah, blah. You're telling me that whatever level, specialist, just regular primary care, whatever, right? But they're all doctors, cannot complete a DBQ to a clinically acceptable standard, and you're worried about that? No, that's not it. That's just giving you the footing you need to be able to make that decision. Now, how can they make the decision? How can they say it and believe it or make it sound believable? Well, the VA is very nuanced, and there's a lot of legality stuff, and we train and update our C&P examiners so they understand. There's no way we can reach out to all these medical providers and inform them of the schedule of ratings and how all these things work and the legalities of it all and what we're really looking for. So we would rather just the VA and our contractors be allowed to complete these for the sake of rating. Now, I'm going to kick it back to you, Clay. I do have more about this isn't the end of the world piece of it,
Yeah.
but I wanted to get to the point of this smells fishy to me. So back to you.
You're preaching to the choir now. Okay.